Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. So just to do a little bit short video here before market opens here, maybe the market's open by the time you're listening to me yap my gums here. I am so bullish on SoFi. It's pathetic. I really am. And, this week will be the week before the big week. Wednesday, we have some reports coming out here giving the feds a little bit of a better understanding about what's been going on with job reports, stuff like that. Obviously, we're wanting those to be bad. It's this weird situation where, we don't want them to be like terribly bad where it like sinks the market, that last time that happened here a few weeks ago, but we want them to be just bad enough where the market goes, okay, well, that's enough proof for the feds to go, okay, you better do this rate cut. So that's kind of where they are. And if they're super good, it could sink the market because then it's like, oh my God, the feds, maybe they're not going to do a rate cut. Now maybe Jerome Powell can use this as an excuse to go like, well, maybe we don't, like he said, here a few weeks ago, maybe we don't need to do a rate cut. I don't think that's going to happen though. Job reports, they haven't gotten that much better. Let's be honest here. So with a little bit of tidbit information they're going to receive here, 2 weeks from Wednesday of this week, we should have a better understanding. Hey, we're going to get this rate cut and the market will do well with that. I am very optimistic. I'm going to be completely honest with you that this is going to be a defining year. This has already been a defining year for SoFi, but stock share price, this will be a movement here going into 2026 with SoFi. This is a real situation right now. This is an important moment for investors where you could be looking at a company by summer that could be double where it's at right now. Man. It does. Everyone is saying that. Everyone's talking about it because we know it's true. The writing does not get much clearer on the wall right now with SoFi. You're talking about a company right now that is about to release their fourth quarterly. It's pretty much a solid wrap up at this point. It's what it's going to be. It's going to be $1 billion plus. So with that, now we've got SoFi very much up in this competition range where, hey, they're like, look at this, Wall Street, we're producing $1 billion quarterlies. Plus Q1, they'll probably tell us like, hey, it's looking good. We're expected to do X this. Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. Not only that, we've got SoFi, still such a youthful, just a child of a company where they are still fundamentally building out their company. 100%. I mean, they just released all this crypto news, and I think a large chunk of that just kind of like, bypassed over people, and that's totally fine. I get that. I was talking to a buddy the other day, but I was like, man, did you see all the stuff with the crypto situation with SoFi, what they're, pushing into, what now they're working with crypto, and they just didn't really care. They didn't really get it, but this is not a crypto person in general. So I was like, okay, that kind of says like the general audience does like whatever. If that's you, that's fine, but you have to know, it may not do much right now, this whole crypto element that SoFi is going after, but this is going to be a defining situation that is going to bring them revenue, big revenue. It's going to bring them more customers. It's going to solidify them as a staple bank in the future with crypto, because the big fat banks right now, they're not really talking about crypto. They're not messing with it. I still think as well as crypto has done here this year, I still think there's a consistent aroma out there of like, crypto. Either way, there will be an ecosystem of usable crypto in the future, however it's played out. And this is why Robinhood, SoFi, they're building such a foundation right now. They're doing this where they're trying to set themselves up for whatever this looks like right now in the future with crypto. So if you don't buy crypto, you don't mingle with crypto, it's totally fine. Just know that SoFi here is trying to get ahead of it for whatever it looks like, and it's going to do great. Just transactions with crypto in general that SoFi will start to make here going in 2026 is going to be, a solid thing that we have not seen on quarterlies with them yet. So the loan programs, everything that SoFi continues to make better, continues to go after, continues to give to people that just open accounts with them, it's going to get better. It's really wild how we are seeing SoFi capture so many new customers every time they come with quarterlies. Like, not only are we looking at, obviously what they're doing revenue wise, it's very exciting, but it's also, you look at this other piece of it, it's almost like Nvidia, because Nvidia, when it releases quarterlies, you're like chips, data center, software, it's like these different elements. And SoFi is, obviously, I'm not trying to compare them, but I'm saying there's elements of, each company that has. Some companies, they just have that thing. SoFi here has different elements that they're working with, not to mention just when you break down their banking system of what they offer people. But two, like I said, it's very interesting how many new users they are acquiring each quarterly. It's like, where are they finding this amount of people? It's insane. But that right there, I've said this, but you have to understand that SoFi is also investing in people. With SoFi investing in people, youth, middle, older people, whatever it be, they're allowing time to set in where it's going to make them a bigger company, because obviously younger people, from their late teens, 20s, 30s, but the younger ones from teens and 20s, they're going to start to need things that every person needs. They're going to need car loans, house loans, credit cards, student debt pay down, student debt consolidated, all these things that SoFi is offering that they will make money off of. So as these things get thicker and thicker throughout every year, the apple tree will produce more apples here, and this is more finances in each quarterly. So that's something to really be excited about, because you as an individual investor, you are investing in SoFi, the stock, the share price to rise. But two, SoFi is investing in people, and they're investing right back. It's a very cool thing. It really is. I'm so nerdy with investing. This may be embarrassing to say, but like, even when I go into a store and I see like that company that, like, maybe it's not directly I invest in them, but I know they're in an ETF that I invest in them. Well, I see Pepsi or Coca-Cola or some kind of brand or something like that, even, anything. And I go, well, I'm a little bit of an investor myself here. But that's what I love. I love to use SoFi. I love to see SoFi do well. I'm just, like I said, this is not a bearish conversation. I'm drinking the juice so hard it's pathetic on Big Bear. Oh, excuse me, on Big Bear too. But SoFi, I'm really looking at this, and, being in the market for almost 10 years now, there's only maybe 2 or 3 I don't know, 3 to 4 maybe, we'll just put it out there, that I've looked at and went like, how could this fail? How could this fail? One of them recently being Palantir. When Palantir 3 years ago was, pushing $7-10 on a good day. And really, even at that point, I could have never imagined what Palantir was going to do, stock share price wise, and, government contracts to now what they're into. But SoFi obviously is, I think this is just what we're looking at. It is a company that will be here in the future. It will be a vicious banking company for the bigger banks as of right now to deal with in the future, because SoFi is going after software. SoFi is going after futuristic banking. And this is going to be something that continues to set them apart from the bigger banks. It really, really is. So it's a very exciting time to be a part of SoFi, man. I cannot stress that enough. This is like such a great place for investors just to sit here and relax in their SoFi. I still think that SoFi is 100% a buy. Anything under 35, probably even 40 going into the summer of next year, is still profit range by this time next year. I'll say this and I'll shut up, but I still think there's heavy, and this will be solidified. This will be solidified, and this is where you need to look for this sign. Look for the sign of this. When SoFi comes out with these Q4s, if they're over $1 billion, it will solidify that more than likely Q1 will be in the billions too. Those two elements right there, we could have so much price movement from that moment on to where Q2, we don't really know what that's going to look like right now. If Q4, Q1 here are solid knockdown quarterlies, maybe they're not like face melting, but they're just enough to beat expectation, and they're just right above expectation and right below, like, holy moly, they're just right there. But that's enough. That is enough to keep expectation, to keep this train rolling down the highway, just rolling. I think that is enough right there to say 30s, 40s, 50s. Can we see more than that going into the summer here? I think that's a real possibility. And man, think about this too. We're all saying it. We all know it here. The big one that more than likely will happen this year because of price action, revenue, everything that's going with this company. S&P inclusion, S&P 500 inclusion. That is more than likely going to happen here. Imagine having a $30 stock right now being put in the S&P 500. Do you know what price action alone will do just with the stock being put in the S&P 500? When the belief, the trust of the S&P 500 goes to that company, because there's only so many picked each year, that Sofi gets picked out. Price action will move up just on that alone. Do you remember what happened to Palantir recently? This year, wasn't it? Beginning of the year, when they were put into the S&P 500, price action just with that. Man, think about this stuff. This is how people get deep in investments. When 6 months from now, they look at their investment, they go like, oh my God, like I didn't think I was gonna do that. I bought this at 30, and whoa, what's going on now? This is how you do things. The stuff gets out of control real fast. Look at this time last year where we were with Sofi, and look. I mean, this is crazy. It's crazy. If we did just the minimum of a 45% climb here the whole year, it'd be well worth it. I mean, it's a heck of an investment right there. So, friends, I wish you all the best of luck this week. I think it's going to be a good week. I'm very excited. Let's see what happens here, and let's get this market running. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. Bye, everyone.